The Steve Miller Band gave us two versions of happiness, the wild rush of jungle love and the soaring freedom of Fly Like an Eagle. Both shaped our generation. Can either one of these legendary songs help us when we ask the question, will I be happy overseas? This episode of Gen X-Xpat is about happiness through the Gen X lens of music and lifestyle. And by the end, you'll have a more precise answer to the question, will I be happy if I move overseas? And if you don't get the answer, you'll know where to look to find it. If you're curious about life abroad, hit like and subscribe and tap the bell. It keeps this channel staying alive and kicking like a mixtape on repeat. Welcome to Gen X-Xpat, where music, creativity, and adventure collide while we explore the art of living abroad. After more than 5 decades of chasing happiness, sometimes wisely, sometimes with missteps, I know regret well enough to fear its sharp edges. Yet nothing compares to the specter of selling everything, uprooting my life, and discovering that the promised joy of living overseas dissolves into loneliness or disillusionment. That kind of regret would not just sting. It would haunt me with remorse and crush my hopes and wound my pride. Equally tragic is the opposite fate, yearning to take the leap, but hesitating, paralyzed by uncertainty until the chance of moving slips away. To be trapped between the ache of action gone wrong and the paralysis of inaction. That's the double bind of happiness abroad. And that's why the question, will I be happy overseas, matters so deeply. Steve Miller Band in 1976 and 1977, when I was 10, gave us two kaleidoscopic visions of happiness. Jungle Love, a song about passion and parties and novelty, a perfect metaphor for the excitement of relocation and happiness through chasing sensory pleasures. And Fly Like an Eagle, a song about freedom, purpose, compassion, and service to humanity. A metaphor for the deeper reasons people move abroad: alignment with values, peaceful lifestyle, and personal growth through cultural exploration. In my 5+ decades of pursuing happiness, I have learned a few things that work. My closest friends sometimes joke that happiness is like a mouthful of chocolate, sweet, intense, but gone in an instant. And they're right. That kind of happiness is fleeting. Researchers call it hedonic happiness, the pursuit of sensory experiences and the avoidance of displeasure, the joy of comfort and play. But if life was only about chasing sensory highs and the money we need to buy them, we would have shallow connections and relationships that don't last. On the other side, there's the eudaimonic happiness, the fulfillment that comes from purpose and growth and living in alignment with our values. But if we only pursue meaning without pleasure, we'd miss the simple joys we're wired for. So thankfully, happiness doesn't have to be one or the other. It's a dynamic blend of savory experiences and pleasures, living with intention and finding meaning. And that meaning contributes to ourselves and to others. We each have a unique mix of brain chemistry, relationships, gratitude, and resilience, all of which play a role. But the most profound joy comes when pleasure and purpose meet, like contributing to the greater good while also nourishing ourselves. Together, these two forms of happiness create a compass, guiding us not towards a fixed destination, but along a path of continuous becoming, shifting and evolving, like the changing patterns in a kaleidoscope. Carl Rogers said it best: the good life is a process, not a state of being. It's a direction, not a destination. So does that answer the question, would I be happy overseas? Maybe the better question is, what would happiness look like if I relocated overseas? And how would I balance both pleasure and purpose in that new direction? Gen Xers, we grew up valuing our independence, our risk-taking, and our physical activities. Skateboarding, inline skating, going to the gym, all things our boomer parents didn't embrace in the same way. It's no mystery what contributes to my well-being: physical activity, creative projects, cultural engagement, and novel experiences all contribute to my happiness. But I confess that I was not sure when I moved overseas. There was a part of me that believed that happiness is a story we tell ourselves. And if we're not happy, it's because we're not telling ourselves a good enough story. I really believed that. But I took a leap of faith anyway, and I sold everything, and I bet on the idea that moving to a peaceful, warm climate, embracing physical activity, and following my creative path, as well as accepting both the regrets and the realities of aging, would all shift my well-being for the better. And so far, the leap is paying off. The different looking through life with a kaleidoscope, shifting colors, patterns, perspectives. Moving overseas can feel the same, dazzling and disorienting, and ultimately revealing new shapes of happiness. So what about you? Is happiness about chasing jungle love and other sensory pursuits? Or is it flying like an eagle? Maybe it's about balancing both pleasure and purpose, as we choose, as we have always done, the direction of our lives. All right, Gen X, truth or dare? What activities make you happy? What's keeping you from them? How would moving overseas increase those for you? And dare, I dare you to go for a walk and listen to the best of the Steve Miller Band. And let your mind wander into a happier place with their upbeat, idealistic vision of what it means to be human. Happiness isn't a destination, it's a direction. Moving overseas won't guarantee the thrill of jungle love or the freedom to fly like an eagle, but it can feel like it. And if you don't know, you will find the answer. It's in you. And journaling can help you find it. The answer is there. Journaling will reveal it. If you want more reflections or a deeper dive into the subjects I cover, check out Island Punk on Substack and Mental Wealth Journey on Amazon. Thanks for watching. Keep exploring.